girl. What's poppin', everybody? What's poppin', only one person? How are you? What's the deal, son? How's my lighting here, Rev? Should I get another table? Doesn't seem that great. I want all the ladies to be able to see me in my glory. In my glory hole. Whenever I sit here, there's air conditionings. This is a 100-story building, an 85-story building. And there's air conditionings up this wall right here. So little drops, it feels like it's raining. Little drops keep falling. Raindrops keep falling on my head. RJ says I'm golden, but I got an email from RJ last night, and it seems that he says he wants to take a golden shower. I don't know what that is. I'm a young Christian kid. I'm only 23. What's up, everybody? It's your old pal, Boogie Bob. I got Paul Greenwell with the small green belt. Treaton's in the house. Hi, Treaton. How are you? Rev's in the house. Hi, Rev. Rev was in jail yesterday. I'm so happy that he got out of jail. Monkey Man Productions in his house. What's poppin', son? We're gonna dedicate today's show. I didn't bring a watch. I feel naked without my watch. Sometimes I come out here, I got a watch. Look at this big. I look like a fool. I look like a damn moron. It's 8:22. I'm very old. I remember when I got my first sundial for Christmas. Billy Altman's in the house. Hi, Billy. What's poppin'? Yeah, so even though it's not raining, it's raining on this table. You see the water dots? You see the water dots? It's because there's an air conditioning above me. I feel like I'm in a wet t-shirt contest and I came in second. Okay, lots to get to. Lots to get. We got a great show today. Great show today. It's gonna be amazing. Is it gonna be shit? No. Just saw Danny. Danny, I guess because of inflation, Danny has stepped up his game and he now charges $3. You mean get $3? It's horrible because I see Danny, I stop in my tracks. I'm, oh shit, there's Danny, and I ain't got no money. I went all the way back in the house. I got $1.50 in quarters and came back out. Danny was gone. You mean get $3? He's on the sidewalk yelling to cars. You got $3? I can get. You got $3? Then the car stops at the red light. He runs up. You got $3? So I'm thinking that he changed it up. The good news is, guys, I'm off of my Coke Zeros. No longer going to drink a Coke Zero. That's a fact. Also, I got my new ring. Now, it's a little gaudy. It's a little ostentatious. Amazon, $11. I want it to look stoic, but I gotta look up the word stoic. Also, I got Bria a wig. I think she's gonna debut it on my next show. It looks hot. Hot. All right, shall we proceed? Yes, indeed. They were being bribed. One day, every day is a thing. One day they'll go to court and maybe have proof. But until then, it's just an accusation. It's just an idiotic. Hunter's laptop. Joe's buying China. Listen, if Joe Biden or Hunter did anything illegal, put the cuffs on them. I don't think Biden has 0 felonies and Trump has 91. I don't know. Mesomania is here. It's the most popular soccer player in the world. They call it football. the most famous footballer on the planet. And he's here. He's in Jersey. He's wearing pink. I want to dedicate this show to the loving memory of Bob Barker. Bob Barker passed away either last night or this morning at the age of 99. He did not make 100. Him and Betty White both made 99. I promise you, if you go online right now, there are conspiracy theorists. Oh, the Illuminati, they didn't join, so they didn't make it to the 100. They had a very good, long, loving life. And Bob Barker, some things you might not know. Bob Barker, he was on, holy shit, what the hell is this? Look at this. Look at this thing. Hold on. Look at this thing. I don't know what the hell it is. It's beautiful in a creepy way. It's a big ass bug. Look at this thing. Hold on. I don't know how to. Oh, there I go. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. There he is. Anybody want to tell me what the hell that is? Woo! Yo! Here I am thinking it's some dumb, slow-ass bug. This thing had wings. That's what you get when you do the Boogie Bob show. You get a little bit of gossip, a little bit of bad shorties, and of course we get Mother Nature. Mother Nature. Anybody know what kind of bug that was? Bob Barker was raised on an Indian reservation. His family was Sioux Indian. You didn't know that. Don't even try it. You did not know that. He was on a TV show, Truth or Consequences, for like 18 years. And that show was going off the air, and then somebody said, hey, I think he'd be great for my new show called The Price is Right, where he did it for like 40 years. Bob Barker is estimated to have given $50 million to animals. He loved animals. In fact, every day, every single show, he would sign off and say, this is Bob Barker reminding you to help control the pet population, have your cat or dog spayed or neutered. Because the biggest thing in the animal world is people getting a cat and letting it go outside, and then they got 8 kittens. And then those kittens have 8 kittens. It's called the pet population, and he was absolutely passionate about it. And he said he wanted to be remembered as the old guy who would go on and say, please help control the pet population by having your cat or dog spayed or neutered. God bless you, Bob Barker. You will be missed. I know he watches the show. Even when he's dead, he still watches the show. So he's part of the Boogie Bob Bunch. He's part of the Boogie Bob Bunch. Drea Mateo. Ooh. Remember her from The Sopranos? Well, here she is. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world to the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. First of all, she got no sheet, she got no comforter, and there's a dead hooker on the ground. What are they doing here? Bada bing! Soprano star Drea De Matteo has a new gig. The 51-year-old actress who played sexy Adriana La Curva on the HBO Mafia drama is now on OnlyFans. Ooh, say no more. Hey man, how are you? She's on OnlyFans. Say no more. I'm going to start an OnlyFans, but I don't have any fans to go on there. Anybody interested in seeing a 60-year-old out-of-shape, broke guy? I'm going to take my shirt off. $4.99 a month. And it also comes with free vomit bags. So if you feel like you gotta puke, you're gonna have a Boogie Bob bag. Her page is available for $15 a month. I find that disgusting, but I am going to go in there strictly for research. Strictly for research. New bones to Ozempic. You guys hearing about this? You guys been hearing about this Ozempic? Ozempic is the weight loss drug that's killing everything right now. I looked into it. It's very expensive. You can lose 4 pounds. It's only $1,500. Another day, another benefit for taking semaglutide. I always take semaglutide. The popular drug marketed as Ozempic. Earlier this month, it was shown to reduce the risk of heart attacks. There is absolutely no way in the world that I'm going to put any kind of those chemicals in my body. Not unless, of course, it's fructose and POTUS. This has POTUS. President of the United States. POTUS. It's got 90 milligrams of POTUS. Alright, so business travel. I can't. I'm not going to do any politics today. Not doing it. Hammered, tried to beat kids to death. I don't know. We showed you yesterday. Killed the woman and then tried to kill the 2 little angels. This is the husband. He didn't do it. It was some other guy. Sunset Park mother and wife Zhao Zhao. Cool name. Z-H-A-O. It's Zhao Zhao. Was fatally bludgeoned with a hammer while her 3-year-old daughter and 5-year-old son, who have not been identified by name, are struggling to survive their wounds. The children's father, who spends most of his time working in Ohio, has also not been named publicly. The sister-in-law of the Sunset mom fatally beaten with a hammer alleged by a housemate who also bludgeoned her children. I don't believe this guy should get a trial. I believe that they should bludgeon him with a hammer. And they should play It's Hammer Time. It's horrible. Horrible. Who would do that? A pint-sized teen menace accused of beating a man and drowning him. We covered this story yesterday. This guy. He's pint-sized. Little guy. That bug was very creepy, bro. I'm looking around. It's the size of a small poodle. The pint-sized teen menaced accused of beating a man who was drowned in the Hudson River heartlessly pelted the floating body with rocks. So he threw the guy in the water and then threw rocks at the body. Miguel Cortez, 19, he's been has accumulated 2 other assault cases in little over a year. He's got anger management issues, I think. $500,000 bail, he ain't getting out. Alleged Wednesday attack on a 42-year-old victim on the waterfront on 158th Street and Riverside Drive. Witnesses said they saw the teen and its victim arguing as they walked towards the rocky bank. I know that bank very well. It's all rocks all the way down the Hudson. Cortez allegedly struck the victim with a foreign object, most likely a rock. The blow was so powerful it knocked the older man into the water where he drowned. Witnesses say they saw Cortez throwing rocks at the victim's body as it floated on the edge of the river while poking it with a stick. This guy's a piece of shit. He gave multiple inconsistent versions of his story. Authorities said he's busted. I hope he rots in hell. He should also be thrown in the river and rocks thrown at him. Today is Vigilante Saturday. Everything's a vigilante. I'm going to be a vigilante today. If anybody knows her phone number, I need to talk to her immediately. It's a personal nature. It is college gymnast and social media sensation Olivia Dunn. Olivia Dunn. Olivia did Dunn. Oh, that's stupid. Rex Hewerman. I nicknamed him Rex Sewerman, but I don't think it's stuck in the media yet. I'm the only one calling him Rex Sewerman. He is the Gilgo Beach serial killer, allegedly. They've got him arrested for 3 murders. They've linked him to the 4th. There could be as many as 14 if you count Atlantic City, Ohio. I think it's Ohio, and Las Vegas. 2 sex workers have said Gilgo Beach murder suspect. By the way, a lot of these women who did live, he didn't kill every one of them. A lot of the ones who did live are speaking out, saying he was a grotesque, sickening man. But several are not speaking out because you can't really say, hi, I'm a hooker. It's very hard to speak out about stuff like that. But 2 of the sex workers have said Gilgo Beach murder suspect Rex Hewerman was violent and aggressive. Ah! You little fuck. That little bug circled around and jumped on my damn neck. Bitch ass trick. Felt like a damn football crawling on my neck. Little bastard. I will not kill a bug. Just get the hell off my neck. What's your problem? I don't even want to do the news anymore. I got bugs crawling on my neck. Anyway, he's a creep and gross. Alright. He had no emotion. The South Shore native is no longer on suicide watch. I think that's a mistake. Jeffrey Epstein wasn't on suicide watch. Florida arsonist feels the burn. Okay. Just from the headline, I'm going to say that the guy was an arsonist and he burnt himself. The Lord works in mysterious ways. A bumbling alleged arson set himself on fire while attempting to burn down a Florida church. And it was on Fox News. Gunshots? Here's that big ass bug again. It was on Fox News. That's a guy's car. That's what a douchebag is. It was on Fox News, so you know it's true.
Yeah. So when they hear that, what happened?
It's on gunshots right here.
Yeah.
He's letting off, right? The guy letting off. It is an unidentified man carrying a can of gasoline approached the Power Outreach Ministry in Oakland Park. After lighting the gas, fire dances around his legs and appears to go up his arms as he scrambles to escape. He's still at large. If you see a guy walking down the street like this, he's probably the guy. Did you hear that? Did you hear those gunshots? There was a car. That was a car. Hi, David Young. Victim outwits abductor. I'm going to say that's the abductor. I don't think that's the victim. He looks like an abductor. Allegedly. An Arizona woman who was allegedly, that's what we do in this business, allegedly abducted by a man posing as an Uber driver, was rescued after she passed a note to a stranger at a gas station. You go, girl. Guys, it's never going to end well if you just sit there and get abducted. Do whatever you can. Even if you're saying, don't you say nothing or I'll kill you. So I'm not, I just have to sneeze. It's cold a bit. He kidnapped me. Something. Make a noise, do something. She passed a note. He kidnapped me, he's got a gun. What'd you say? Nothing, I sneezed. I just sneezed. The woman entered a Chevron off Interstate 40 about 170 miles north of Phoenix at 5 p.m. Tuesday. She slipped a piece of paper to the customer. "Help," she scribbled on the note, adding her name and phone number. "Call 911. You go, girl." Good for you. The customer relayed that the van had the westbound on I-40. Police found the vehicle and arrested Jacob Wilhoit, 41, who had already been named a person of interest in the woman's kidnapping. Oh, in another kidnapping from a Phoenix car dealership the previous morning. This guy's going around kidnapping everybody. You guys, how do you feel about a self-driving car? Or a self-driving bus? Or a self-driving taxi? Ah, you little... Nope, nope, not gonna happen while I'm rapping, Captain. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy right here. He's a big ass bug. Don't bite me. You gotta go, Playboy. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. Do not be lulled by his small stature. He can fly. Ooh, there he goes. He flew, and now he's on that wall right there. That's how fast these dudes are, like lightning. Holy shit. I don't like it. I gotta be honest with you, I ain't feeling it. That little dude was on minutes ago. I would love it if one of you guys could look him up and tell me what the hell he is. I don't kill bugs. I don't kill nothing. Anyways, this Florida self-driving bus. First of all, I'm not getting on a self-driving bus. I ain't doing it. I understand they got Ubers and stuff now that they self-drive. I don't want it. I want a human being there. It's a spotted lanternfly. RJ, I think you're probably right. It definitely has spots on it. It definitely has spots. Rev, can you send me a text? Can you Google? You know what? I want to see if RJ's full of crap. Let's see if RJ... Maybe RJ made it up. RJ lies a lot, so let's see. Hold on. Spotted lantern fly. Oh my God, RJ, you are the man, bro. Look at that, folks. There it is. It says here, these bugs are often found in the New York area. If one lands on your neck, you'll be dead within 3 days. I don't like the sound of that, to be honest with you. I could only have 3 days left to live. I gaggled it. I gaggled it, and that's it. Got a damn bug. First of all, I want to know how the hell RJ knew. RJ could have just saved my life. Not off to a good start. A brand new Florida. A brand new self-driving shuttle bus suddenly crashed into another carrier in Orlando, Florida, just 2 days after the shuttle service hit the streets. The Swan. It's called the Swan Shuttle, short for Shuttling with Autonomous Navigation. Collided with a full-size bus. Believe me, if you're on that bus, you start talking about how bad your neck hurts. If you get out and say, I'm fine, you're a moron. The crash was caught on camera by the passenger testing it. I tried out the new Swan Shuttle autonomous shuttle in downtown Orlando. We crashed, said TikTok user Sam Gallagher. The footage shows a female shuttle passenger pressing a touchscreen just seconds before the driverless bus set off. Moments later, the passengers can be heard saying, "Whoa, whoa, my neck hurts." of frozen vegetables. This is why you don't eat vegetables, guys. Sorry. Bags of frozen vegetables sold at Food Lion and Kroger are being recalled over fears that they may be contaminated with harmful bacteria. That's called salmonella, my friends. Holy smack. La da 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 da. It's the Donald Trump mugshot. Now, people in his camp are saying that he studied for the mugshot for 3 days. They brought in expert. First of all, it's a smart move. It's not a diss. You know it's going to be the most famous mugshot of all time. I think he should have went in wearing a leather jacket like Fonzie went. But he decided that this was the look he's going to do. Oh, damn! Another spotted lantern bug. Get out of there, player! There's a fifth one. I'm being jumped. Being jumped into the game. There's one over there fist fighting with a pigeon. He's got the pigeon in a headlock. The mugshot is being it's everywhere. And it's being memed everywhere. Here you got the guy from Clockwork Orange. Here you got I'm back in The Shining. Here's the guy, this is my rifle. There's many, but this is mine. And there's this one's horrible. He would have hated this one. It's got little tiny hands. And here he is smoking a joint wearing sunglasses. La 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 la. And here he is, Joe Biden giving him a little smooch on the back of his neck. All right. I think he did the right thing by practicing his mugshot. He knew that he was going to be selling merch and everything else. So they, you don't want to go in there like, that would have been a horrible mugshot. He wanted to convey strength and a scowl. Everybody keeps saying it's a scowl. Pastor, the last to turn himself in. The very last person to turn himself in is a pastor of the 19 indicted. He was the last one collared. That's a bad pun. He was collared. A former cop turned Lutheran pastor indicted alongside Donald Trump was the last of the former president's other 18 co-conspirators, co-accused, to turn himself into Fulton County. This lady, this horrible lady in Chicago, she's a social studies teacher, was arrested for threatening to shoot former President Donald Trump's son, Barron, straight in the face. That's a horrible thing. This kid has done nothing to anyone. I always said I always feel bad for Barron. Can you imagine him throwing the football around with his dad or going fishing or anything? That's never going to happen. I don't think he's going to have a very happy life. I feel kind of bad for the kid. But the lady should go to prison for saying stuff like that, and I hope she does. A picture is worth 1,000 memes. Hours before the mugshot was released, X, that's Twitter. By the way, Donald Trump has been off Twitter since he got banned. They allowed him when Elon Musk bought it for $44 billion, and now it's worth about $2 billion in a ham sandwich. When Elon Musk bought it, he brought it back. Donald Trump has refused because he's on Truth Social. And Truth Social, the other day, the first tweet Donald Trump did was of his own mugshot. And he's coming to get the deep state. Whatever that means. Donald Trump just fired his lead attorney. Well, he didn't pay him. There's a list of 300 attorneys who were never paid. If you're his attorney, you're doing it for pro bono because you ain't getting paid, Playboy. Let's see. Hotel Eatery, Baltazar's Rain, Menendez, attorney. Absolute lie. The Kremlin denies that it had anything to do with blowing up this plane with Prozinga. If you cross Putin, you better move to the United States and change your name and get a job at UPS in Canarsie. Because if you stay in Russia or anywhere on the Eastern Bloc or anywhere in Europe, he's going to find you and you're going to fall out of a window. We talked about this yesterday. Maui, thank God, the worst fire in American history. Thank God, the number has gone from over 1,000 to 400 still missing. That's still horrible. That's a lot. I can't even imagine the grief of people. The wind was kicking around so bad, the fire was just scorching hot, and they're not even finding bones, they're just finding piles of ash. Fed was busted in a 1.8 million gem heist. Paging the fashion police. So first of all, you should be fired for that. A man was busted for allegedly swiping more than $1.8 million in designer jewelry and other accessories from a fashionista at a Beverly Hills hotel. Jobson Margadoni, 37, is accused of tricking a staffer at a 5-star Beverly Hills hotel into handing over a room key belonging to a Brazilian couple in town for a fashion event. He allegedly stuffed 6 suitcases with glittering jewelry, including a $200,000 diamond necklace, a $90,000 Chopard Haladu diamond watch, along with $14,000 in Chanel dresses. That's like one dress. He was arrested Monday and charged with interstate transportation of stolen property. He faces 10 years. I know he was loading up that suitcase like, yo, I did it. Don't spend your money yet, Playboy. You're going to be eating a Snickers bar and a ham and cheese sandwich on Rikers Island next week. Shooting at a White Sox game. You go to a damn baseball game, you get shot. Chicago police are investigating a shooting incident that took place at Guarantee Rate Field. None of these places are called Wrigley Field or anything now. Now they're named after, I'm going to a football game tomorrow. Who are you going to see? I'm going to see the Miami Dolphins at the Coke Zero Arena. And then tomorrow I'm going to see the Rolaids Arena and the UPS Driver Arena next Thursday. AT&T Field, everything is this. This one's called Guaranteed Rate Field. At least one person hospitalized Friday. 2 people were injured. And the White Sox took on the A's. I knew Oakland had to be in town. The first time I got robbed, and I've been robbed a few times, was at an Oakland A's game. Me and my little homies went to a baseball game with our Little League coach. And we ended up being robbed by the young kids of Oakland. They caught us slipping. Me and my boy, James Whiteside. Where's Bob Bowen? Where's Boogie Bob? Does anybody know? Take a good look. Which one is Bob? Anybody take a guess? Which one's little Boogie Bob? I'm the dude standing up directly in the middle, in the back row. I look like I'm the tallest kid there. I'm not, but I'm standing up. I'm the cute little skinny dude. Top row, middle, Boogie Bob. All right, now guys, you're gonna win an iPad if you get this right. Where is Boogie Bob? That's me. I'm in the second row in the middle. The guy to the left is Maurice, my dear friend. He's dead. The guy to the right called me yesterday. The guy above me called me yesterday. He's David Young probably knows him. That's David Whiteside. He was a great pitcher. That's Mr. Bates. Mr. Bates was the coach. That was horrible. I never hit a home run. I also struck out in our game. It was a guys on bases, and I sat there and I was too scared to swing the bat. Strike three! I started crying. That's before I became a player. A politician goes to cops. I'm assuming that's the guy she went on, because look at his look on his face. She looks like she's getting ready to puke. He looks like he's smiling. She goes to cops over sick kisser. Sick kisser. City Councilwoman Inna Burkhoff announced Friday she filed a police report against the creep who kissed her without her consent during a TV interview in Brooklyn last week. The GOP lawmaker, in a post to X, formerly known as Twitter, said she learned the man's identity through anonymous tip and claimed he had a lengthy history of sexual assault. The stranger snuck up behind her, pecked her on the cheek during a CBS thing. Guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. You never go up and kiss some lady, or ladies don't do it to guys either. But it's very common with a creep or a narcissist. I can't even imagine walking up to a girl, and the reason I'm bringing this all up is because it just happened. The Spanish women's soccer team won the World Cup. They just won the World Cup. It's prestigious. It's the biggest story in Spain. It's unbelievable, and they're giving a medal. The CEO of the soccer president is handing out congratulations, que pasa, whatever. Hands him the thing. Then he does another and gives her the gold medal, or here's her championship medal. Then he gets to one woman, he grabs her by the face and kisses her on her lips. This is outrage all over the world. He's being asked to be stepped down. He's refusing to leave. The women in the league are all refusing to play ever again until he's fired. Guys, that's a sexual assault. You think I think because that girl's pretty, I can walk up, grab her by her face, and kiss her? You should be punched really hard in the face for that. She could have a husband. She could be Muslim and not want some man touch her. She could just be a woman. You shouldn't touch someone who you're not affiliated with. I wouldn't do that for $1 million. Anyways, so this politician, he was very creepy. I definitely felt violated. That's absolutely, I'm on her side. So anybody out there right now say it's a harmless kiss, you're a creep. You're a creep. I brought you this as a Boogie Bob exclusive. A fleeing drug suspect's death ruled a homicide. There's a cop, undercover. He goes to buy drugs. The kid, for whatever reason, there's another big-ass lantern bug over there. For whatever reason, the kid gets spooked and tries to flee on a moped, a scooter. The cop takes a cooler. Do you guys know what a cooler is? Where you put the 12-pack of beer in, those big, heavy igloo? And you might as well hit him with a baseball bat. He takes a cooler and throws it and hits the guy on the motorcycle, killing him. This cop better do at least 10 years in prison. 20, but you know that's not going to happen. The death of a scooter riding drunk. That's the kid. I don't care. He said, oh, well, he was selling drugs or he was buying drugs. I don't give a shit. You cannot go up and kill a guy with a damn cooler. The death of a scooter riding drug suspect who crashed after an undercover cop threw a cooler at him in the Bronx has been ruled a homicide. Eric Dupree, 30, died from blunt force injuries to the head, which he sustained while fleeing a drug bust on the Aqueduct Avenue near 190th Street in Kingsbridge Heights. A rep for the city. Dupree took off amid a buy and bust operation conducted by the Sergeant Eric Duran and was driving a scooter when he was hit. Cop hurled a cooler. During the attempted escape, Duran, who has since been suspended, that's the cop, without pay. It's nothing worse than when they suspend them with pay. It's horrible. Without pay, chucked a cooler at Dupree, striking him in the head from close range. This guy had seen a Rambo movie and he said, oh, Stallone can do it, I can do it. And hits him with a damn cooler. You can't do it. After being struck, Dupree lost control and crashed into a parked car. He suffered trauma to his body and was pronounced dead at the scene by EMS workers. The medical examiner ruled it a homicide. I pray that this cop goes to prison. You can't do it. Poison chemist. A chemist who made poison used a campus lab to do it. He's a lab rat. That's not my joke. Hey, that's a lab rat. Florida. Why is it always Florida, bro? A Florida chemistry whiz charged with injecting opioids underneath his neighbor's front door. Did I read that wrong? He's a lab rat. A Florida chemistry whiz charged with injecting opioids underneath his neighbor's front door because of a noisy toilet seat used the laboratory at his work to mix the toxins. Zooming Lee used a laboratory at the University of South Florida campus to mix and load syringes on multiple occasions. He's one of those geniuses. He's got a syringe with opioids. What does that do? Kill the people's animals? I don't understand. The chemist was arrested June 27th after a neighbor caught him on camera squirting a clear liquid into the crack of her door frame. The hazmat test revealed the liquid contained a combination of methadone and hydrocodone, both opioid pain medication. Word of the poisoning sent out other residents in a panic. I don't understand. So you inject it under the door, do the fumes do something to you? I don't know. I mean, he's a chemistry genius, so I assume he knows, and that's exactly what he was trying to do. Listen, guys, it's really important. This is a part of the show that's really important. If you know these three girls, I need to talk to them about a job opportunity. It's a personal matter that doesn't concern you. Dave Chappelle celebrated his 50th birthday. Britney Spears cracked her head open during an explosive fight with her husband before their separation. A little gossip around the dial. School's out for the summer. All my black friends are like, what's that? That's Alice Cooper. School's out forever. Culture shock. Cut over trance. I gotta be honest with you, me and Rev are both very disappointed. One of our favorites is Carlos Santana. Carlos Santana the other night at a concert, he's playing. I gotta tell you, Remember the good old days when you were born, you knew if you were a man or a woman? A man is a man and a woman's a woman. Now, listen, you can debate it all you want. Yes, in theory, correct. But what he's really doing is saying, if you're trans, you're a piece of trash. That's what he's saying. And it's not fair and it's not right. Guys, you know as well as I know, we have always been taught there's a man and a woman. But if you are a man, born a man, and you felt your whole life you were a woman, what does it bother you? Why don't you let him or her be them? If you are a woman trapped in a man's body, what do you care? Just because you're born with a penis does not make that, I don't think, certainly legally makes you a man. But if you're that dismissive of somebody else, then you're insane. There are tens of millions of transgender people on the planet. You tell me they're all insane? Or maybe they're onto something and they believe in their heart that they are who they always felt they were. It's not for you to decide if you want to have your own thing. In the Bible it says if you're born with a penis, you're a male. Corinthians, John 7:16 says, screw you. God loves everyone. God doesn't make mistakes. Well, why are kids born with cancer? I am a huge supporter of everyone. And for someone like Carlos Santana, whose whole life, professional life, has been about, hey man, everything's groovy, God bless you, man, may your soul be always positive and nice. For him to stand up in front of 30,000 people and condemn people for feeling a certain way. What if he got up and said, hey, if you're a guy out there and you're fat, you're a lazy piece of crap. All right, here's my next song, Black Magic Woman. He just offended all these people because of their size. My next one is an old classic, but before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about Jews. You guys killed Jesus. Who would do that? So it is not okay that he picks this segment of the population, and then you can't make it go away by saying, you know, he said, I think he said something like, you do your thing, that's your thing. Well, you're the one that sits up there and ridicules people for doing their thing. Very, very, very disappointed with Carlos Santana. Not everybody feels the same way I feel. I went online, there was a thing going, he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. He's hurting people. He's hurting people. If there's a guy over there with one arm, he knows he has one arm. So I gotta go up and go, you got one arm! Bob, why would you do that? I'm telling the truth! He's got one arm. He's fat. He's Jewish. He's got a hook nose. He's got one eyebrow. You're hurting people. Carlos Santana, shame on you. Shame on you. Tell the truth! I'm only doing 3 today, and I'm doing them quick. Sagittarius. Competitive situations will be a lot of fun this weekend, and you will go out to be on the winning side. That's great, but don't forget to play the game in the sporting spirit. Treat your opponents with respect, even if they beat you. Cancer. We have a Cancer. You seem to be having second thoughts about a plan that just a few days ago you were raving about. Ask a friend to take a look at the situation and insist they give you an honest appraisal of what your chances could be. It could be an eye-opener. Donald Trump and his cronies have a new thing they're doing. You're going to be seeing this a lot. He's been saying the election was rigged, and now he and his guys are selling shirts. I can't even believe it. I honestly can't believe it. The 2 women who were accused of stuffing ballot boxes Both sued Giuliani for hundreds of millions of dollars. They're going to win. He actually admitted in court, okay, I lied. They didn't stuff ballot boxes. Both of them were black, African American, mother and her daughter. They had people show up on her door. So 3 of the people that were indicted for this Atlanta thing over them showing up at their door. The Kanye West old publicist showed up at a damn laundromat. You know, said, "Hey, listen, I'm not saying something's going to happen bad to you, but your family could be in danger for what you did." That priest, the priest that I just read about earlier, he knocked on their door saying, you know, hey, you know, this, you should really. Anyways, so Donald Trump and his cronies have new shirts and a new slogan that they're hoping it sticks. And I don't even feel comfortable saying it. I'm going to. But he's calling them riggers. Riggers. This is for his racist white face. Now, guys, that does not mean that I'm saying anybody who voted for Trump or supports Trump is bad or is racist. That is not what I'm saying. But he does have a segment, the population, who are going to use that riggers thing that he came up with. They are riggers. Talking about her and her African American daughter. You think that's a who says that word? Who says that? It will be sticking. Type it in right now. It'll come up, the whole story about it. It's reprehensible. It's horrible. Taurus, the mighty bull, the mightiest of all. It is. The message of the stars this week is that you cannot just muddle through. You have got to be precise in your aims and your actions. Not everyone will be as motivated as you are, but you can still make good things happen together. Last but not least, I'm just going to let this one play out. I'm leaving it up to God. I don't know where it's going to stop. I got to recenter that wheel. Oh boy, look at that. That's right on the line, bro. We're doing them both. Kevin Butler, you better stop it. Kevin Butler, last time I took every nickel and I bought food with it for the homeless. Thank you very much. By the way, I've got a new thing thank you, Kevin. I got a new thing that I am doing where I leave food on my corner. And it's never lasted more than 20 minutes. Now today I won't know because I'm doing this show. It's going to be an hour before I get back. But this is basically what we're doing now. And I hope that this is something that will continue because I love it. And it's not for the homeless. By the way, this is where I ran into Danny. Hey, you got $3? I said, Danny, I'm putting food out here. Danny don't want no food. This is not for the homeless. This is for people who may live in the neighborhood and do not have food. Watch this.
Guys, there are a lot of hungry people in this world. If you have some stuff laying around in your cupboard, put it outside. Someone will appreciate it. $3.50. Somebody ain't got $3.50. $3. Someone ain't got $3. And $2.50. These will be gone within 20 minutes. They always are. I hope they enjoy it.
I didn't go buy that stuff. That stuff that was in my cupboard that I'm not going to eat. Cream of shrimp soup I probably bought one day and said, I want to have that. It's been there for a year. I do like those little noodles though. But that's $10. And there's going to be an elderly lady or a man who go by and they're on a fixed income, and that is going to mean a lot for that. I would really appreciate if any of you have food in the cupboard. I always say an old blanket, a pair of gloves, especially in the wintertime. There are people out there that would really, really enjoy something that you're not going to use. I've left food out there every day this week, and the longest it lasted was, I don't stand around and watch. I come back. The longest I was gone was 22 minutes. It's been gone. 16 minutes, 15 minutes, 22 minutes. Today's an hour. We'll see what happens when I come home. please, if you have something laying around and you could help someone, that would be amazing. I'm going to do a double whammy. This is a Libra and Virgo. Libra, recent doubts and fears will have been swept away with the arrival of Mars in your sign this weekend. Most importantly, you will realize that you don't need other people's approval or permissions to follow your dreams. The fact is, you never did and you never will. God bless you for that. And the other one is Virgo. The sun in your sign opposes Saturn. Who's she trying to get on the old Boogie Bob show? Girl, all you got to do is ask. You're on. Look how handsome I look. Look at the hair. 60. Look at the hair. Come on. The sun in your sign opposes Saturn, planets of discipline, over the next 48 hours. So if you stray from the straight and narrow, you will pay for it one way or another. Also, when making deals, you must get proposals and promises in writing. Otherwise, people are going to lie and rip you off. Shall we do the birthdays? I think we should. Is Ambrose here today? He left me hanging the other day. Ambrose, I looked him up. He was working for Action Kid now. I don't know what happened. Famous birthdays. Today is the, I think it's the 26th. Famous birthdays, the 26th. Let's see what we got going here. Oh, we got some good ones. Roy Raymond. Who the hell's that, Joe? I don't know. Charles Lindbergh. Okay, Charles Lindbergh was about the most famous American in the world at one point. His famous thing was he was the inventor who made the first solo airplane flight across the Atlantic in 1927. One thing that you guys, he also won Person of the Year. He had 6 children, and one of them was the most famous kidnapping in the history of the world. His son, while he was asleep, someone made a ladder, a wooden ladder, crawled up the outside of his house, went into the home, and stole the son. The son was found about 2 or 3 miles away dead in a ditch. This is a baby, an infant baby. A man and a woman, I think 3 people, but a man and a woman for sure were arrested for the crime. They paid the ransom, and still said, pay us the ransom, and then the baby wasn't returned. The baby was found in a ditch. Bruno Hoffman, look at Fafo. Fafo with the, I wouldn't have came up with it. Was Bruno Hoffman, and his wife. They were both killed. I believe they were hung. They could have been electrocuted, but they were both killed. And as the perpetrators of killing Charles Lindbergh, the most famous man, more famous than the president, because he flew from here to England, first one to do it. It was considered the crime of the century. His son was kidnapped and murdered in what was considered the crime of the century. Charles Lindbergh, God bless him. Lon Chaney Jr. Lon Chaney Jr., he was the Frankenstein guy. The Hunchback of Notre Dame in Phantom of the Opera. One of the most versatile actors of early cinema who played roles in Hunchback of Notre Dame, Phantom of the Opera. His other notable films include The Penalty, Shadows, and He Who Gets Slapped. I didn't make that up. The name of the movie he was in was called He Who Gets Slapped. Where is it? He Who Gets Slapped. What the hell? I think it's a good title. Ted Knight. Does anybody remember Ted Knight? Ted Knight was brilliant. I don't know how many Emmys he won, but he was absolutely brilliant on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Ted Knight played Ted Baxter. He was typecast as that. He died on this date in '86 at the age of 62. So young. The former soldier played Judge Smalls on Caddyshack. He also proved famous cartoon characters, but he was most known as Ted Baxter on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. She used to say, "Oh, Dad." Neil Simon has a theater right on this block. The Neil Simon Theater. There he is. You're like, well, who the hell is Neil Simon? He was a playwright. He did The Odd Couple, Barefoot in the Park. He across his career, he received more combined Tony and Oscar Award nominations than any writer in history. Not too shabby. I'm just going around the dial. Dominic Dunn. He was a writer. He was a commentator. His daughter was kidnapped, raped, and murdered. I don't remember the details of that. He was an investigative journalist, writer, and movie producer, best known for works of Two Mr. Greenvilles, People Like Us, Mansions of Limbo. I don't know any of these. He and his 5 siblings were born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was married to Ellen Griffin. They had 2 children together. His actress daughter, Dominique Dunn, was murdered in 1982. He helped produce Panic at Needle Park, starring Al Pacino. God bless him. I know that was devastating for him. This is where my show always takes a screeching halt. I got to work with Ambrose to figure out what we can do about this. I apologize. You know, I don't have today I'm let's do the deaths. We do not celebrate their deaths unless it's Hitler. Famous deaths. Is today the 26th? Okay, I fucked up. I'm sorry. Those were the famous deaths. I didn't do birthdays. No Ambrose again today, but I didn't do birthdays. Those were all deaths. That was a biblical proportion mess up. I apologize. I was rude. I'm just going to come out and say it. I was rude. Got like 10 of my girlfriends watching the show right now going, hey, wait a minute, he's going to say he was wrong. Come on, you could do it. I was incorrect. I can't do it. I can't do it. One time I thought I was wrong, but I was mistaken. Famous birthdays. I got it right this time. I apologize for the... this is going to be in the paper tomorrow. Famous YouTuber drops the ball on live TV. All 64 of you are upset with me. Kiki Palmer. Happy birthday, and I believe she just had a baby girl. Kiki Palmer, God bless you. I don't know who that is. James Harden, phenomenal basketball player. Melissa McCarthy, actress, comedic, just amazing. She's 53. James Harden's 34. Chris Pine, I like Chris Pine, 43. Mother Teresa, can you believe it? Mother Teresa. I believe she was put up for sainthood. You have to have 3 miracles to become a saint. Born, her name was Angees Bojexiu. I'll probably start crying before I finish this because she is one of my idols. She was a Catholic nun who made her life's work to care for the sick and disadvantaged. She spent most of her life doing missionary work in India, and in 1950 she established a missionary charity of Calcutta, which provided hospice for those suffering from AIDS, leprosy, and other illness. Not in 1950. 1950 there was no AIDS, but obviously once it happened, she dedicated her life to people with leprosy. Bro, you become a leper, ain't no one going near you, touching you, holding you. She would sit there and hold them in her arms. She never had anything of value, a cross around her neck and the love in her heart, and she gave that out to everyone. I really admire people like that who give of themselves to help others, and she will always be one of my all-time favorites. John Mulvaney, God bless you. Steve will do it. This guy, biggest trumper on the planet, God bless him. Steve will do it was one of the Nelk boys. He was just some guy. His name was Steve will do it. Steve will do it. Hey, you should take this and pour it up your nose. I'll do it. I'm Steve. Well, now he's worth $100 million. Every episode of his YouTube channel, if you don't have it, you should subscribe. Steve will do it. One word. He gives away Lamborghinis, watches, Ferraris every single episode. He also chain smokes, and he'll be in a restaurant, see a waitress, and go, hey, come outside, and give her a Lamborghini. Which I don't think that's... Got a crazy guy going off over here. Giving a waitress a Lamborghini is like walking up and giving a homeless guy a corkscrew. Hey, I heard you were hungry. Here's a spatula. Yes, it's worth value, but it doesn't give the woman money. You're going to be a waitress driving around a Lamborghini. You ain't going to be able to afford the insurance or where to park it. You ain't going to know how to drive it. It just kind of makes it seem insincere. Just because you have money and give away grandiose prizes doesn't mean that you're doing it for a reason other than likes. My new thing where I'm putting food on that thing is not anything to do with Bob. I don't go, guys, look at this. I won't show the people. Doing trying to inspire other people to maybe put out their food that someone else could use, but also to show people that I've been here, 30 minutes, 40 minutes? That food's long gone. By the time I get back over there, it'll be long gone. Somebody walking down the street trying to pick up aluminum cans or figure out where they're going to get their next meal sees a can of tomato soup that me and you would walk by in a heartbeat, and they go, oh my God, there's dinner. The other night I put out mac and cheese, and I said, this is for the less fortunate. I must have got 30 comments. Dude, how the homeless guy gonna eat mac and cheese? That's crazy. I never said homeless. There are many people that have a home with no food. They're on Section 8. They get food stamps, but it's not enough to get them through the month. So on the 25th day, they start going, oh my God, I'm hungry as hell. They go to the old folks home and get free food, or they go to the soup kitchen where Joe works and get free food. They're walking down the street, they see a couple things of noodles, and they say, I'm taking this home and I'm cooking it. That's what I like. Steve will do it is 25. Guy's so rich, it's insane. That's all she wrote for those today. Let's get on with the news. Avoid Mickey D's at 10:30 a.m. Now, I already know that. I haven't read this, but I'm going to assume it's something to do with that's when the breakfast changes over. If you go there at 10:32 and you say, hey, can I get a McMuffin? They go, no. They won't do it. They can't do it. They'll get fired. This has got to be something to do. He's sharing his nuggets of wisdom. Although fast food lovers would argue that a tasty bite from McDonald's is a treat at any hour, the burger behemoth's former corporate chef is virtually warning Happy Meal munchers against patronizing the restaurant during its mid-morning transition. At 10:30, they stop breakfast and they start food. So if you get there at 10:15, say, I'd like a Big Mac and some nuggets. They're like, no, don't do it. Breakfast till 10:30, 10:31, lunch. Why is 10:30 the worst time to go to McDonald's? Said Chief Mike Horrocks, answering a question from a Mickey D's fan on TikTok. At 10:30, that's when the restaurant switches from breakfast to lunch. Duh. He worked as manager of culinary innovation for McDonald's headquarters. So he doesn't tell us why, he just tells us that's when they switch over. No shit. In the old days, we say, no shit, Sherlock. Yeah, that's when they switch over. What's that got to do with not going there? Fibber, Santos, George Santos, the worst liar in the history of worse than Trump. I saw a thing yesterday, the lady goes, why do you love Trump so much? Because he tells the truth. That man wouldn't know how to lie if he tried. He couldn't lie. He's never lied. Meanwhile, his arrest affidavit says he weighs 215. Donald Trump weighs 250. Oh my God, Ambrose. Ambrose is here. Falling down, that movie triggered me. He wanted some McDonald's. He wanted breakfast. It was 2 minutes late. He's like, and next thing you know, there are a whole lot of dead bodies. Gonna be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing if my burglar alarm starts ringing. Fibber Santos, no deal, embattled serial fibber. George Santos isn't ready to consider a plea deal with federal prosecutors. I hope they don't give him a plea deal. He should do 30 years in prison. Teen gangs torment family. Where at, Joe? Bronx? No, Florida. Everything is Florida now. Bronx barely makes it in the paper. Teen gang torments Florida family. A classic doorbell ditch. Who hasn't done that when you're a kid? Jimmy, go up and ring Mr. Baker's doorbell. Bing bong, and you run. And he comes to the door. You're across the street in the bushes. You could use stupid kids. Classic doorbell ditch has taken a sinister turn. Members of a family in Florida say they have been terrorized by a group of teens who have aggressively banged on their door in the middle of the night for over a year. Get yourself a Ring camera, bro. Surveillance video captured by the family shows the boys creeping up on their Fort Myers home in the dead of night and bashing the door with their fists and feet. We are on the edge every single weekend with the gumshoes when the sun goes down, says the homeowner told Wink News. Wink. I find myself looking out the window trying to see if I can see anybody approaching the property. So they're trespassing and harassing. They're stalking us every weekend for over a year and a half. Local police who speculated that the attack stemmed from a social media challenge said they're aware of the situation and have asked the public's help in identifying the masked marauder. It's horrible. Horrible. Here I'm getting attacked by killer lantern bugs and murderer over here, and now I got air conditioner juice dripping on me. Dad death, shock at university. A beloved father of 6 died suddenly after collapsing on the floor while helping move his son into the dorm at Arkansas State University. Jeremy Tillman, 45, of Russellville, Arkansas. 45? He's 45 with 6 kids? No wonder he had a heart attack. Poor bastard, that's horrible. God bless him and his entire family. Jeremy Tillman, 45 years old, of Russellville, Arkansas, suffered a very sudden... How? 45 and his kid's going to college? That makes his kid at least 18. 45, let's take 20. Okay, you got a kid when he was like 22, 23. I didn't even have sex till I was 40. Jeremy Tillman, 45, suffered a very sudden medical event at the university around 10 a.m. He came through the door and he was obviously in distress. I guess he may have strained too hard. The car dealership employee was found not breathing on the floor with foam pouring out of his mouth. That's a heart attack. That's horrible. Burning Man is still a thing. On Thursday, yet another person posted on the Burning Man community Facebook group looking to offload tickets. You go to the desert and you burn shit. Drew Barrymore. I love Drew Barrymore. I met her. She said her name was Daisy. She was playing pinball at Rudy's. She said her name was Daisy. There's the stalker. This guy, the other day, she was doing a lecture. He ran up on stage, tried to grab her. A crazed fan busted for allegedly stalking Drew Barrymore at her $6 million Long Island farmhouse was set free Friday by a judge who was forced to release him under state bail reform laws. There's your problem right there. Chad Michael Busto, 43, who spooked the star at a Manhattan event earlier this week, then allegedly showed up at her doorstep. This is a crazy man. But I love her. I didn't do anything wrong. I crawled down her chimney and sat in her jacuzzi with rose petals. I had rose petals. Don't you see I love her? Chad Michael Busto, who allegedly went door to door in Southampton looking for actress Drew Barrymore. He went door to door. Hi. Is Drew Barrymore here? No. Do you know where she lives? No. Okay. Thank you. Hi. How are you? Looking for Drew Barrymore. This is a sick person. Allegedly. Seems like a normal dude. He stopped by the souvenir shop and got a Southampton shirt. Okay, this is important. I gotta be honest. I need her phone number immediately. I think me and Bria are broken up. I haven't told her yet, but tonight's the night I drop it on her. Poor kid. She deserves better than me anyway. I told her, girl, I'm not that great. Lobster man, body found. The body of an 18-year-old lobster man was recovered near the coast of Maine. Where else? Maine is where all the lobsters are. This week, exactly 1 month after he went missing at sea. Poor guy. Tyler Mashad of Steuben was identified Thursday as the dead man discovered in the bay. A town more than 7 miles from his empty fishing boat was discovered last month. I remember when I did the right thing. I went to Red Lobster. They have a tank full of lobsters there. I reached in, I grabbed 5 of them. I ran all the way down the street and I released them right onto the highway. That was my good deed for the day. Just picture those lobsters walking down the highway. Boogie Bob released us. It's what I do. It's what I do. Captain rams lawman vessel in migrant smuggle. A boat captain was busted Friday night while bringing at least 14 migrants into Florida after ramming into a sheriff's vessel as he tried to stop them. That guy going to jail. DWI for toy Jeep driver. This guy. What's wrong with this guy? He looks like just a nice guy. He looks like a murderer. I shouldn't judge him. I take that back. Indiana troopers aren't playing. An Indiana man was arrested for driving under the influence Wednesday night after being pulled over in a kid's Power Wheel Jeep. One of them little pink plastic Jeeps that you buy a 6-year-old girl. He's driving one down the side of the road, drunk. It sounded like a good idea at the time. First of all, I'm not as drunk as you drunk I am. No. A state trooper was patrolling on North 2nd Street around 9 p.m. when he observed a toy car on the road with no lights or reflectors and was difficult to see. The trooper pulled the toy car over. How do you pull it over? There's a guy going 1 mile an hour. Can you walk next to him, sir? Can you pull over, sir? The trooper pulled the car over and noticed that the driver, John McKee, 51, displayed signs of impairment. You think so? He looks perfectly sober. Officer, I'm not drunk. I'm in my Jeep. This is harassment. I think it's harassment. I think it's racism. McKee failed a field sobriety test and was taken to Good Samaritan Hospital where he was determined that he was under the influence of methamphetamines. He was taken to Knox County Jail after being slapped with a felony charge of operating a vehicle while intoxicated. Hooters slap on race bias. Hooters is facing a lawsuit alleging one of its locations in Northern California had certain employees of the COVID-19 because they were either black or dark skinned. We're almost done anyways, but I would like to tell you guys to please have your pet spayed. Why didn't you tell me my collar? David Young, tell me my collar. I look like Madonna. Let's get physical. That's Olivia Newton-John. I feel like I'm in an 80s video. Let's remind everybody to please help control the pet population. Have your cat or dog, please, have a spayed or neutered. And let's make sure that we treat each other with kindness, goodness, love, and acceptance. I think that's it. I love you all very much, except two of you. Two of you are pieces of crap. But one of those pieces of crap is not Grinch and the other one is not Seashell. Those two are not pieces of crap. The rest of you, two of you are pieces of crap. Figure it out. I was getting ready to take you over to Times Square. Can't do it. Battery's dead. I want to thank you though. Please be kind and loving to each other. Be good to yourself because you deserve it. Thanks for dropping by the Boogie Bunch. I will talk to you again mañana. That's German for next week. Mañana. I love you. God bless. God bless Bob Barker.